What's up, buddy?
Oh, God.
How we doing?
We're good.
I'm talking into the microphone now. Why are you so annoyed? We're brewing together today.
I know. I can't wait for that. But you ate a whole donut into the microphone.
Into the microphone.
And you didn't have to.
There's a little icing on it. I got it.
You sure
What
did.
did that sound like?
It sounds awful. It sounds like you're licking all the retail items at a Goodwill right now. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. Well, I think, remember too, whenever we found the German Scheiser corn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
Yeah.
That's all it is. The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face.
Got right in front of you.
Welcome back to Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys. And keep our podcast name in your mouth. So, Make Peace Not War is an initiative started by First Sip Brewbox, Hoot Design Studio, EGC Group, and Craft Beer Marketing Awards. They've come together to put an initiative where we can all come together as brewers and content creators to make peace, not war. This specialized label is copyright-free, customizable, and has no recipe restrictions. So brewers can sell any beer they'd like and donate roughly 10% of their sales to charities that are supporting those negatively impacted by the events in Ukraine. We are proud to say that the team here at Bash Brew are joining forces with our friends at Arboretum Trail and First Sip Brewbox to join this initiative. And you can too. So head on over to Make Peace Not War and also search out Hoot Design Studio to get your label now. Just make sure you tell them that the boys sent you. Adam, we're here.
We're here. We made it.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Hoot Design, by the way.
Oh,
they really, she started
the
whole movement for this thing, and
the label's sick.
Cool. Oh, the label's awesome.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, we're gonna put it up on there so you can kind of see what it looks like. And we have tons of feedback already for it. It's a great cause.
Yeah, and I know we will be doing a cream ale for it, at least for our first run. We might do a couple beers with the label.
Nice.
And, just to use all the labels and donate. We're going to donate 100% of what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The commercial breweries that can sell their stuff are donating 10%. We are donating 100%. Mm-hmm.
So whenever you
look
see,
for it this July.
Yeah.
We'll be doing ours in July.
And when you see those pop up on social media, you just hit us up, and we'll do anything we gotta do. Meet you at parking lots. We'll come to where you're staying at, or whatever you gotta do, and we'll bring you what you ordered. Just know that the beer is gonna be awesome, and the reason behind the beer is even that much better. So reach out to us when you see it, and we're gonna just keep pumping beer out for good causes.
Absolutely.
Speaking of good causes, I'm broke again. We all found out that the whole avocado thing didn't work out, but I'm not the worst one here today. I thought I was having a bad time.
You're broke and I'm broken.
You're broken.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, by the way, for allowing me to come back to the brewery and work, because no one tells you that when you get busted in a pyramid scheme that you then owe people money in the pyramid scheme.
Right.
So now I owe people a lot of money, but you allowed me to come back.
Yeah.
So.
And don't look up what minimum wage is, because you're not getting paid it. You're way below.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am Matty Tank Bitch Anderson, or Shovels McGee. You've lovingly started calling me Greg Avocado too, because that's fun. I like that
Matty
one.
Avocado.
Matty Avocado.
Matty Cados.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Yeah, I deserve it. I deserve all of it. So I'm back in the saddle here at Bash Brew. Expect me to be posting funny pictures of me cleaning tanks for the next fucking 20 years. I don't know.
I mean, we got a lot of festivals coming up. So
we do, yeah.
You're going to be cleaning a lot of tanks.
Absolutely. And the two festivals that are coming up very shortly here, if you haven't gotten your tickets, May 14th, we're going with the best brunch ever. And on June 4th, we're going to be at the Brews and Bruises Festival, where I'm going to be cosplaying at both of these things. I'm going to dress up for both of them.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I am or not. I want to for the wrestling one, but my workout routine has fallen off hard.
I'm not telling anybody what it is, but what I'm dressing up as.
I know your wrestling one.
Yeah.
I won't say it.
But I'll tell you, just so you guys know, if you want to see what a classy Southern gentleman looks like to bring your mom to a brunch, just come to this thing, because I'm going to be classy AF.
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't wait. So, Adam, we are in round one, and usually we have beers. But we don't have beers today because Papa bash line decided to have a little bit of fun last night. So let's introduce what we're drinking, and let's explain why we have to drink these today. So go ahead.
It's round one. We got coffees.
Put them together.
It's round one coffees.
Round one coffees.
And round one coffees is brought to you by the only coffee roaster in Pittsburgh that matters to me, Black Forge.
Black Forge.
So I got the Weed Eater here, which is my when I don't just get the black iced coffee.
Yeah,
this is my favorite. So my second favorite is the Weed Eater when I feel fancy.
And then I hate Christmas a lot, so you got me the Krampus.
Absolutely.
So I can murder people who believe in Santa still.
You like everything they have, so I just what have I not gotten in a while?
I would say too. I'm kind of the same way. Like, the number one thing for me is the iced Americano.
That's good too.
I get that, and then if I'm in the mood, definitely the Krampus and the Thunder Horse are like my two favorite things. I do enjoy those a lot.
So it's round one coffees because we're just a little spoiler. We're recording in the morning.
Yeah,
it's just before noon, I think now.
Yeah.
And we are. I am hungover.
Yeah, I'll say it's one of us.
Big thanks to Breweries in PA, First Sip Brew Box, Burgers Brewing, 412 Brewing, and Seven Sirens.
You guys tried to kill my partner.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
They came over and we had a great time.
Yeah.
But I am sleepy.
Yeah.
And hungover.
Well, you had the worst combination because you went to bed at 4 a.m. And you kicked, you said at least one of your kegs, right?
We kicked the red ale, yeah.
Yeah, so that's gone.
And I told everybody I wanted to kick the Bellini Brut.
Yeah.
So, and that's 8.5%. So we drank a lot of that. And then we have a brew day scheduled today along with the podcast. So I was up early crushing some grain.
Cool. So before we even get into anything else, what are we brewing today?
We are brewing the Drunkin Donuts.
Nice.
So it's our jelly donut.
Award-winning Drunkin
It's our
Donuts.
jelly donut, milkshake IPA, I guess you'd call it. A lactose IPA. Yeah. And that will be at Best Brunch Ever.
Yeah.
So it's our second beer for Best Brunch Ever. They will both be in the tanks as of this evening. So.
Yeah, wonderful. So, if you haven't gotten your tickets for Best Brunch Ever, this is your opportunity. It's kind of last.
On to the Brews and Bruises brews.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. We're bringing in some bangers.
Yes. Get your tickets now. I think session one's been sold out for a month, but session two still has some tickets left.
Yeah, I think all the VIP tickets are gone.
I think so.
Yeah, I think those are definitely gone. So, Adam, I thought it was going to be a slow week in wrestling news, but the combat sports scene is on fire right now.
It's WrestleMania weekend, man.
Yeah, 'tis the season for WrestleMania, for the two-night most stupendous, blah, 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 blah. But before we get into that, from Buckle to Bell to Bellator and back to boys, bringing the best combat sports news in the biz. And we're going to start off right now by a topic I didn't really want to touch on, but I just want to let you know right now, Will Smith slaps like Sable in the Attitude Era.
Dude,
did you see it?
It was bad.
I think everyone saw it.
It was bad. I think everybody's seen it multiple times now.
He came from his hip.
I'm done with the memes.
Oh, yeah.
We're almost a week into it now. We're 5 days in, and I'm done.
And it's fading already, which is good.
Don't care. It's making Chris Rock a lot of money, which I'm happy about.
It certainly is.
I already wanted Will Smith to go away forever, and this isn't helping.
So real quick, though, before we go on to other things that are more important, if you wanted to fantasy book them in a match real quick, what kind of stipulation would you put in if it was Chris Rock versus Will Smith?
Jado on a pole match.
It's going to be that old Eddie Guerrero thing.
Yeah.
Like, who gets custody?
Who's Dominic's daddy?
I want the GCW cage match where they have all the weapons on the, all around the play. I want to see that happen. Yeah, So this is finally getting over. We had to take one stab at it, and that's all you're going to hear from us.
Jado on a pole.
Yeah,
because we know she likes multiple poles.
Yeah.
Keep job,
my wife's name out your mouth.
But if you want to put something else in her mouth, that's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. So, moving on to another resident douchebag, Jake Paul is in the news nonstop. So, if you love him or hate him, it doesn't really matter because the dude figured out how to take the internet by storm by starting the pot, jumping out, making millions of dollars, fighting some people. I mean, say what you want, the dude's made so much money in the past 2 years from what he's doing. So as much as I think he's not a good person, I can't knock the business acumen.
He is a businessman. For sure.
So I'm just going to move into a section here that probably won't be a recurring theme or a bit, but I'm just going to do the Jake Paul news roundup. So I found some pretty interesting articles. So Diextro, they said that he accepted a fight against Canelo Alvarez under one condition, that it be his last fight. Paul finally humbly admitted that there's no way he'd be able to take out Canelo unless he gets 5 or 6 more fights under his belt, because that's what he thinks he needs is 5 or 6 more fights. And then he said after that, he'd definitely put on a show with one of the best pound-for-pound boxers currently in the sport.
So he's accepting it under it's Alvarez's last fight, or it's his last?
It's
Paul's
Jake
last
Paul's
fight.
last fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Yahoo.
And spoiler alert: you could have 20 more fights, and you still ain't beating Canelo.
It's not happening.
Dude, he's my favorite boxer out there right now. So.
He's so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. Yahoo News reports that Jake Paul offered to fight Conor McGregor in the UFC under one stipulation. This was actually kind of notable. Jake said if he beats Conor McGregor, that Dana White has to increase all minimum fight payments for all fighters that are currently contracted in the UFC. I like that if he were to do it, but I don't think that he can. I don't think if he tries to go in for an all-around fight that he's going to be able to defeat anybody because he doesn't have any ground game. He's a good striker when he's standing still.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't. I'd like to see the UFC fighters get paid more. I think I'm not alone in that, but I don't think Jake Paul is going to be the guy that saves it. And then last but not least here, Reuters has talked about Jake Paul offering our friends Will Smith and Chris Rock $30 million to fight. That's some Triller shit. It's not going to work out.
I was just going to say that's Triller.
That's all. That's all Triller. So, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it.
All Triller, no filler.
All Triller, no filler. Yeah, I'm not about that life at all. What I am about, though, is UFC 273 because this card is actually looking pretty good. So scheduled for April 9th of this year at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. UFC 273 is a packed card with 2 championship matches set to hopefully boost in-house ticket purchases. Let's take a quick look at this card, Adam, and try to make some predictions.
Let's do it. It is a sleeper of a card. It's all really strong fights. No like billboard names on it, but
well,
if you know MMA. This is a good card.
I would say I think Young is going to be the one that steals the whole thing. That's going to be a great fight. The Korean Zombie being in this.
Yep. I
would say let's start at the opening match at middleweight with Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dricus de Polisis. So I'm going to lovingly call him DP just because there's no way I can continue on with that. Or DDP.
Nope. Just DP is fine.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
We're going to go with DP. So Gastelum taking on DP at middleweight. This is a fight that most people weren't expecting to see. However, this is a great chance for Kelvin to start making some noise in that middleweight division against a great young opponent. I think that this is going to be a pick'em. I think, and then we'll get into some betting odds because we partnered up with a betting site and they feed us some stuff. So nice. I have some great lines for you. So I have a pick'em and I have a split 'em that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Sounds good.
But right now, if we're looking at the line, this fight is very close. Kelvin striking going against the gas tank of DP is going to be the story here. Gastelum has been historically known as a significant striker,
right?
So I want to see how he can match up against the speed and the gas tank of the youngster.
Yeah, I'm taking Calvin, but he definitely has a questionable. As it goes on, like his cardio has gotten questionable, and he's not very good at the weight cuts. I feel you, brother.
We're not trying to say that we're better than you because we're not.
Right. But I think that's all in check now, and I think he'll take it.
Yeah, I think the striking's going to shine through too. I'm going to take Kelvin as well. Moving on to a heavyweight bout, we got 2 big boys really slapping it together here. It's Alexei Oleinik taking on. Am I saying that wrong or right?
Oleinik.
Thank you. I'm trying, people.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying.
You're good. You saw the look on my you knew I was like, man, he fucked that up.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking at them, and then I just out of the corner of my eye I saw you just go. And then taking on Ilir Latifi.
Sure, I'm not going to correct you on that one. I have no idea.
This is a toss up for me. Both these guys are evenly matched. Both have no problem sitting around 265 and carrying that weight without any concerns. 3-round match. This is not going to be one of those like watching the beast gas out and try to do something at the end. But I'm going to say I'm going to take Latifi only because I like that last name so much. This line is also super close, so this is really a split 'em. But Lexi does have the history.
Yes.
He's got a very, very big record. But I think Latifi, since he's a bit newer to the division, he does have a great background in his former promotions. So I think it's going to shine through. The youth and the vigor will take this one.
It's Alexi for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Because of that history. And when I've picked against him in the past, I haven't recently, but when I did in the past, he always wins. So He's just consistent, and he's a beast. So
There you go.
Lexi Olenek for me.
The only women's match here on the main card, Mackenzie Dern taking on Tasia Torres, and that's the women's strawweight division.
Tisha Torres.
Is it Tisha?
Yep.
I've heard. I'm not gonna say. I want to say I've heard an interview where they call her Tasia.
Maybe. I've always heard it as Tisha Torres.
I heard Tasia.
Okay.
I just want to say that I've been doing more research on these names before I come on to this.
To see you.
I to see you too. So Dern taking on Torres here at the women's strawweight division. This again is another one of those situations where it's kind of a mismatch here. Torres is coming in as kind of an underdog in this match, but I think it's a lot closer than people are giving it credence. I think Dern has a great striking game. I think Torres has a great ground game, and I think that's why they're making Torres an underdog, because people are focusing more on striking now in the UFC than they ever have. I'm taking Torres in this one because I feel that she's going to be able to get inside the striking of Dern and take it to the ground.
We're splitting again. I'm taking Dern. I just think she's a more consistent threat, and I think Tisha is not ready for it.
Well, and that could play into it as well because she's younger and she doesn't have the same background. So we're going to move into welterweight here. We're going to take Gilbert Burns, and you take this one because you're going to say it way better than me.
Khamzat Chimaev.
Chimaev, yes. I was going to say that.
Kazmat?
I think it's Kazmat Chimaev.
Chimaev is definitely the last name.
Chimaev is definitely, because I've heard Ariel Kawani.
Yeah, boy.
So Burns taking on Chimaev. This is a great match. Despite this not being a championship match, this is two premier. You okay?
I tried to make you laugh and I choked on my coffee.
Got him. So
Sorry about that.
This is not a championship match. However, this is a great setup for the next two matches. These two don't like each other. They've made it very well known on social media as well as in interviews that they want to take each other out. But I am going to go with Chimaev on this one because this dude is just straight up fire in a bottle. He's everything all together. He reminds me a lot of Usman, has a lot of Usman-like striking, gas tank, fight acumen, and I'm going to give it to Chimaev in this one.
I'm going to agree with you. Chimaev is a young rock, and he's just being rocketed up the card.
Yeah.
And he might make it to the top. He might get stopped. But you know who's not stopping him? Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
So, Chimaev all the way on this one.
I think Gilbert's going to put on a good show.
I do too.
No.
But it ain't,
It's not going to be enough.
It's a mismatch in my books.
So I'm looking forward to this one here at bantamweights. Mr. Sterling taking on Peter Yan. If you remember,
I do remember.
way back when, this was a fight that we saw, and our poor former third Mike, he fell victim to the illegal knee.
Yep. It got us out of the bet to do that.
It certainly did.
Yeah.
We survived that.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be any illegal knees in this one. Yan coming in with the interim championship and Sterling coming in with the full-blown championship. These two are going to clash heads for the second time, and I think this is where we see Sterling get exposed by Jan's striking ability and not an illegal knee. So Jan's going to take this, unite the belts, and stand tall as the bantamweight king.
I'm also going to turn on our man, Aljamain Sterling. I think Peter Yan is going to take it. His hands are just too good. He's one of the best boxers in MMA. And I think as long as he doesn't slip up and accidentally knee him in the face while he's down, the bout will definitely go that way.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, because that's the only. Well, I don't want to say it because I think Sterling put on a really good match the first time these guys fight each other. But you could tell he was starting to get a little outclassed as the rounds went on.
He was in trouble before that knee. He was he was hurt.
But I'll tell you this: in the first match, I give the judges and I give the ref a ton of credit for that, because if you look at it too quickly, that knee could have just slipped in there, but they really stepped in and took care of that, because that could have caused a lot of damage to Sterling in the long run. So I want to see these two really go at it and see what happens. But Yan's just a great striker.
He's gonna be able to cash in that Marlboro Lights championship and get that Marlboro Red championship.
Yeah, baby, no filter.
Back to college for me with the C's.
Oh, God, man. So for your main event here at featherweight, we have Alexander Volkanovski. taking on Chan Sun Young.
I was just shaking my head to shake my. You said it right.
I know.
Sorry.
I know that one.
He is the champ. You better know.
I should know this one. And if you guys don't know who Mr. Young is, that is the Korean Zombie. And and if you don't watch MMA, if you're listening to us and you're just like, we just like hearing you guys talk about this stuff. The reason why they call him the Korean Zombie is because the dude can just eat shots and keep coming. It's actually quite an anomaly.
Yeah. It's nuts. I actually saw way back in their earlier days. I saw him against Poirier, actually.
Yeah.
At UFC Fight Night in Virginia, and he won. He tapped Poirier out, but yeah, he was awesome to see live.
Yeah. One of the first matches I ever saw him way back in I think it was Pride, when he took on Jason Mayhem Miller.
Oh, nice.
And what a wonderful match that was.
I bet. So who you got?
I am going to take the champ, Volkanovski. He just complete fighter, and nothing against the Korean Zombie, dude. You're at the tail end of your career here. I'm glad he fought his way through featherweight to get this title shot. It's not like
He did not start there.
Yeah, you're like, you're not just a vet we're giving a shot to. He fought his way up, so I give him a lot of credit for that. But the champ, it's just too much. The champ is too fresh. He's too strong. He's too quick. It's just yeah.
I agree with you totally. I hope to see Chan Sung Jung eat some terrible shots and keep that zombie moniker alive, but I think that's all we're gonna get. Right. Like you said, he's at the tail end of his career. Much respect for fighting your way, going down in weight to featherweight, and then fighting your way through the ranks to get where you're at his age. I'm not even sure how old he is, but I know he's been around in the game forever.
He's got to be in his 40s.
So
sure.
yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Well, they were saying too,
interesting in this one.
way back whenever he fought Mayhem Miller, they were saying like, hey, the Korean Zombie is really getting into the twilight of his career, and that was before Bully Beatdown, and that was like like 2008 or some shit like that.
I'm looking it up now. Oh shoot, he started super young.
Yeah,
he is only 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, he might actually have a couple more years left. Then.
Yeah, he might.
So like I said before, we got into a little bit of an agreement here with the Fight Odds betting line. So fightodds.com gives you some of the best active tracking for your daily bets. So right now we have some lockdown picks and some splits. So if you really want to make a little bit of cash at UFC 273, Fight Odds is going to try to give you the best stats to make the most educated bet you possibly can. So going along with one of our picks here, we are Volkanovski taking on Young. Young coming in at plus 540 and Volkanovski coming in at minus 450. This is a huge split, and we agree with that wholeheartedly. This is the legit pick 'em. You're going to take Volkanovski straight on this one for sure. He's coming in as a heavy favorite in this one. And if you're like, I don't want to bet against the Korean Zombie, go ahead down to Sterling versus Jan, because Sterling's coming in at a plus 379 while Jan's coming in at a minus 446. Again, we agree with that. That's where you're going to have a safe pick with Peter Yan. But if you want to start making yourself a little more money on a higher risk bet, go all the way back down to Gastelum taking on DP, where Gastelum's coming in at minus 145 and DP's coming in at plus 135. So if you want to make a pretty risky bet with a pretty big return, take a split there, because you might get a good result.
Or parlay a couple of these favorites together.
Yeah.
See if they can all pull it off.
That'd be good. Good $20 might turn into $200 pretty quick.
I think I might throw a little money on this, to be honest.
I was ready to say. There's a couple
I see a parlay line I like.
I do too.
Yeah.
I really do. So, Adam, we are going into the Wrestling Week Roundup. But before we even do that, I got to say, the Tony Khan era of Ring of Honor is here.
It is.
Wow.
Last night.
Super Card of Honor was amazing.
It was a good card.
I don't want to spoil anything, but all I'm going to tell you right now is talent is being used correctly. They're being put in the right spots. Titles changed hands. Epic showdown between FTR and the Briscoes. Big surprise at the end. It has Tony Khan's fingerprints all over it, but in the right way. It still keeps ROH kind of like in its own, like the honor code
universe. Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah, and the cool thing about Super Card of Honor is that it actually will now begin to immediately feed AEW Dynamite.
Perfect.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. So check that out. We're going to be rewatching it again today while we're brewing, and we might go over some of that too next week. But for right now, no spoilers. Just go watch it.
With our glowing WrestleMania review, I'm sure.
That might be a 15-minute bit right there.
Oh, it's going to be a 15-minute rant from your boy.
Ugh. So something I'm not going to rant negatively about is that Toni Storm is all elite. The former WWE product made her entrance during Dynamite this past Wednesday to thunderous applause. Now, here's the problem. Of course, as soon as someone debuts at AEW from WWE, the first thing that happens is all the basement dwellers start coming out and saying, oh, when are you going to turn into Ruby Soho and be put on Dark? AEW Dark is accessible on YouTube. Anybody can watch it. And also, too, Ruby Soho has been hurt. Why would you put her in a main storyline with a bum knee? You don't want to do that. Right. They're protecting her until she can make a run. Stop it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody just enjoy it.
Take a pause.
It's not like Ruby left to go to AEW. She got fired.
Yeah. And also, too, if you really want to get weird about it, at least you can get the YouTube Dark show, and without a subscription, you have to pay for Live 2. No, Live 205 isn't even a thing anymore. Live 205 is gone.
205 Live, you're saying it backwards.
Doesn't matter. It's dead.
Flip it and reverse it.
Yeah. Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
Matty
that
Elliott.
Shit got canceled. So it's gone. So you can't even watch it anymore. So where's all your upcoming talent? I don't know. NXT?
The rating. There was a news release today with the other con, the WWE con. I don't know. What's his first? I don't remember his first name.
Shad? No.
Chad Con. Yeah, sure. But he's saying like they're not. They've said a couple times now they're not looking at independent wrestlers for their feeder program, and he came out and said basically they're looking for failed college athletes.
Yeah.
At this point,
could you not cut it?
It was literally. Did you not make it into the NFL, the CFL, the other?
The MLB?
No, whatever the other U.S. football league is.
Oh,
then come to WWE.
Yeah. Or wait till The Rock hires you for the XFL.
Yeah,
that's gonna.
UFL. I think it's.
That's
UFL.
it. Yeah.
So if you're a UFL dropout, they're doing tryouts in Texas this week. I saw a full ad for it. It was nuts.
They tried to make it a whole part of the WrestleMania week.
They were trying to get me down there.
I did.
Nah,
bro. We have a successful podcast.
I'm too fit for that.
Oh, God.
You don't need this male specimen that drank beer till 4 a.m.
This is peak male performance, whether you like it or not.
I don't like
this. This is peak male performance.
I don't like it. I'm not having fun with it.
You know what else I'm not having fun with? Is how the WWE continues to denigrate their tag team division. Almost beat the Viking Raiders in a handicap match. Not by pinfall, not by submission, by countout. One strike.
After a clothesline, yeah.
Clothesline. The former Raw Tag Team Champions. Clothesline, count out. Some retribution, stiff kick. Never got back in. But did set up Bobby Lashley versus Omos, which could be a good match because Bobo Lashley needs to come back.
It won't be a good match.
It won't be.
It won't be a good match.
I know. I'm having a problem with trying to understand how that was a smart move to hurt your tag team division so badly to push a guy who's so green.
But he's tall.
I know. And that's the other thing, too. If you look at who's the other guy, the general
Aziz,
yeah. You're not doing the same shit with him. And he's just as tall, just as strong, and just as impressive.
Yeah.
He's buried. Almost crushed him.
He's tall.
He's so tall.
He's so tall. Vince loves tall.
What sound does a wolf make?
Wolf.
Randy Orton also has gone on to say that NXT talent sucks, just like Vince McMahon.
Between him giving Scott Steiner the biggest hug at the Hall of Fame and then coming out like this, like Randy's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I like Randy Orton a lot. So Randy actually got into the Pat McAfee show, which is pretty cool because Pat McAfee is getting some great people on his podcast and his show right now. Especially like Vince McMahon, first live interview in 15 years.
I mean, he's got to try to keep up with us. So
yeah, absolutely. And you can try as much as you want to, but we're better than you, and you know it. So whenever Randy Orton gets on there and he says, I'm not working with NXT talent like the way I want to because I have to keep protecting my fucking jaw. No punches pulled here, just like he feels that NXT talent doesn't pull their punches.
There.
Yeah. So the problem here is that NXT talent was viewed as indie talent, and on the indie scene, they're stiffer because they can sell harder. It's just stats and probability here. If you throw 200 punches in 2 months, one of them is going to connect. It's just going to happen. I understand where the frustration can come in, but you're not taking like full-blown right hooks every night. I think the problem here is, if you remember, just a few months ago, I think, Randy took a kind of a botched frog splash from Montez Ford, and it put him on the shelf for a little bit. And I think that he kind of had that in his brain when he was being talked about developmental, and he just kind of took it out on them.
Vented a bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. But I can't. I mean, I don't wrestle NXT talent as much as they want me to be on the show. I can't. I'm not going to. So I don't really know how well you guys do or how stiff you are. I've only watched the product. And then watching, of course, MLW, GCW, and AEW, I can see that they are a bit stiffer at times. Speaking of AEW, Marco Stunt, gone. Joey Janela, gone. Contracts are starting to expire. Now,
you got to do that.
Yeah,
they got. Thank you for being here from the beginning, but
exactly,
we have names now, and
it happens.
I mean, jeez,
yeah.
Marco Stunt was. I disliked him.
I didn't like how he was being used. I feel like he's...
Oh, yeah, because he was in with Botchasaurus. Nobody likes that.
I felt like he could have been a really fun manager for a different setting. Like, if he was more of, like... and not even disingenuous to his size. If he's, like, a little, like, Gremlin-style guy. You know what I mean? Like, just very heelish.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
That would be really cool to see him do stuff like that. But the good thing about the way the state of wrestling is right now, none of these guys are going to be without jobs. If you look, Marco Stunt was actually trying out to get onto a record label. He's actually a phenomenal singer-songwriter. And then Joey Janela throws his summer block party every year.
He's a big GCW guy.
Yeah, so they're good. Joey Janela is already calling out Matt Cardona. And if you wrestle Matt Cardona, it's like wrestling Midas, man. You turn to gold. Yeah. So good luck to everyone who gets released. Good luck to anyone who has their contract expire. It's hard no matter what when you lose your job, but I kind of feel like the way wrestling is, you won't be out of business for too long, and who knows, man? Maybe you can, choose your narrative or whatever.
Oh, don't do that.
No super kicks.
No tope suicidas.
So we are going to go into a break right now, and we have some sponsors throughout this break. And if you like what you hear, you go support them. When you support them, you support us. And when you support us, you bring some pretty cool stuff, like being able to get Krampus and Weed Eater coffee because Adam got too drunk last night. So we'll see you on the other side.
The Cult-Worthy Podcast. Your host, Antonio Palacios, will guide you week by week through a bevy of cult favorites, obscure cinema, and hidden gems. Listen to us on your favorite platforms or follow us on thecultworthy.com. The Cult-Worthy Podcast.
Nice ink, Adam.
Yeah, I got your name on my ass.
I was talking about your forearm, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, it looks great, man. What are you using?
I'm using Lucky 13's Tattoo Cleanser and Healing Ointment. This ointment is incredibly fresh and invigorating. It effectively removes all surface oils and dirt while not dehydrating your new tattoo.
Dude, I actually got some of Lucky 13's Tattoo Balm. It's all natural, not oily, and applies easily. The balm improved my color and definition, and the vibrance on this ink makes it look like it's brand new.
Oh yeah, man. I found their products after taking their online quiz, and it pointed me in the right direction.
Hey, guess what? And right now, if you use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order from their site.
From the first line of your tattoo to the first year of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13 has you covered to keep that ink looking fresh.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like. Because again, when you support our sponsors, you support us. And when you support us, we bring you some pretty cool stuff. We are in round 2, and we finally have decided that we're going to drink some beers. Adam, I know that's hard for you right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to get a little bit of hair of the dog here. Get you motivated.
It's not that hard.
Get you No?
It's not. I can drink beer right now, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So, Adam, it is round 2. You continue to supply us with some of the best brews in the burg. So, we put them all together. Round 2 beers, what we got?
We got a little something from a friend of the podcast, and we're not saying that in jest this time. Arboretum Trail. We got the Beez Kneez American IPA. brewed with honey. I was
Nice.
going to say American Honey IPA, but it is American honey too, so it's all good. But this big boy is coming in at 6.7%, and we have a little bit of where'd the hops go? There they are. Citra, Sabro, Nelson, and Amarillo. So
that sounds really good.
yeah, bunch. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't my first time drinking this beer. It's
Oh,
not
no.
my 10th time drinking this beer. I've had many of these.
And it won't be the last either.
No, it will not. Well, it might be. We'll see how tonight goes.
So while Adam pours that out, if you want to know what's going on with Arboretum Trail, you search them on all social media, Arboretum Trail Brewing Co. And they are actually going to take over the old couch space. They're going to be working on building that up from the ground up to make it their own. And we are actually in the incubation project for them too. So we're going to be helping out as much as we possibly can. And we just love Arboretum Trail a lot. Thank you, Ben Steffen. Your beers are incredible, and we're just happy we can feature another one here today on the podcast and to get Adam motivated for the second half here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is going to get me through the brew day, man.
So,
and congratulations, Ben's Honeycomb credit funding campaign that we talked about on the show ended this past week. And
That's right.
He more than exceeded his goal. So
Good.
Way to go, Ben.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see what you do with it.
And thank you to everyone who donated to that as well. It's we're indie, we're small, we try to do as much as we possibly can, but we don't get to be successful without the support of people. And I can only say that's for anybody who's really trying to make it right now, especially in these weird times. So thank you, anyone who took a moment to donate anything to Arboretum Trail's development. We look forward to seeing what we can establish there, man. It's gonna be pretty cool.
And this Beez Kneez is killer.
Yeah. So this Beez Kneez is the Beez Kneez.
It's the boy. Well, I don't want to make that joke, but you did it. Yeah, man, just straight up IPA, classic IPA. You kind of got that hazy, kind of orange, like hazy color, but that's all the honey.
Yeah.
I mean, and the honey comes through, and it's really good hoppiness, really well balanced. I'm liking it.
I was gonna say I definitely like I like a little bit of the sweetness of the honey in this IPA. I think it's got just enough bite to balance it out. It's not overwhelming on either side, and it kind of like scratches that itch for what this would be really good with, like some kind of hot wing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
something spicy. Yeah,
Something spicy. Get that nice little sweetness.
like that vinegar heat.
Yeah. This Kansas City stuff.
Now I want wings. Big Shot Bob's. We're coming for you. This
Coming
afternoon.
for you. So, Adam, I threw it out to social media for a smackdown. I asked everybody that listens to us, follows us, or just checks out our stuff, and you can too, at DWTB on all social media. Are you into horror video games? 65% of our listeners said yes. 35% said no. The reason why I want to throw this out there is celebrating, man. We're halfway to Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we are 6 months away from Halloween right now.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring a little bit of spookiness into the Jojitorium because we've been doing this for over a year. But if you don't know by now, we love spooky season in this little place here. So I wanted to bring it just for a brief moment here.
I hope at some point it takes out Christmas.
I think it will. I think that it does because it's already killed Thanksgiving.
For me.
It's Halloween, Christmas. So hopefully, as we roll on here, we'll just sprinkle little bits and pieces of horror in our podcast.
Going back to horror video games, do you have a favorite?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have two. So The Suffering, which is an Xbox classic, fantastic game. It's a guy who gets, well, depending on how you play the game, either wrongly accused or rightfully accused of annihilating his entire family. And he escapes from a jail in Maryland, and throughout the whole thing, it's either he's hallucinating or some evil has actually taken over everything he's seeing. It's just body horror, and it's wonderful. And then Dead Space. Love Dead Space. The first one was so terrifying. Again, body horror. I think I like Cronenberg a lot because I just like body horror stuff. Great atmospheric music, great use of dark spaces. And the weapon system was really cool, too, because it was all mining tools. So that was cool.
Very cool.
What about you?
I actually voted no on this because I'm not a big horror video game fan. But I guess I'd go with Dead Rising. That's the zombie one, right? Yeah, there we go.
That's a good one.
That's mine. I fucked around with that for a while.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's funny, too.
Yeah. It's just, especially in my old, decrepit age, I don't like being stressed out playing a video game, and horror video games stress me out.
That'll do it.
So, yeah, I just like to pop on NHL and fuck up the Maple Leaves and go back.
Who doesn't like fucking up the Maple Leaves, by the way? Get me NHL 95 and I'm still doing it.
I played the Maple Leafs like 8 games in a row because I wanted to injure Matthews so bad. And I eventually broke his leg. So
Yeah.
mission completed.
Mission complete. Did you get an Xbox achievement for that?
I should have.
Yeah.
Dumoulin fucked him up.
So, Adam, like I said, we are halfway to spooky season, so I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of something for us to kind of battle over here for a second. So, the last 5 years of horror, I've actually seen some pretty good movies come out. So, what I did is I went from 2016 to 2021 because we can't use 2022 yet. It's not over. So, I put 3 movies that did very well in each realm. B movies, big blockbuster, and then kind of like under the radar a little bit. Okay. And so each year, 2006 to 2021, have 3 movies. So we're each going to pick one, and we're going to duke it out a little bit here, see who has the better picks.
Okay.
So if we look through here real quick, 2016 has Terrifier, Train to Busan, Don't Breathe. 17, Victor Crowley, It, Happy Death Day. 18, Hereditary, A Quiet Place, and the Halloween remake. 2019, Us, Brightburn, 3 from Hell. 2020, Psycho Goreman, The Invisible Man, and Host. 2021, A Quiet Place 2, Candyman, and Malignant. So, Adam, since you're hungover,
Yep.
I'll give you first pick. You can pick
Dude.
any year you want.
I gotta take 2016. Not to play Homer with Terrifier being in there, but
Love you, David.
2016. I don't. First off, I saw all 3 of those movies, and some of the years I can't say that. But I mean, Train to Busan is like one of the best Korean horror films I've ever seen, and there's a lot of good ones. Don't Breathe was a new creative take on horror, and Terrifier's brutal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 16, man.
It was so easy to pick a B movie for 2016. Like, as I was like sipping through, I was like, well, Terrifier for sure, boom. I am going to take 2018 with Hereditary, A Quiet Place, and Halloween because, much like Don't Breathe, A Quiet Place took on a new role in horror, which used a lot of atmospheric silence to really bring about some hopelessness and some horror. So, Adam, I believe if we take my 2018 going against your 2016, my B movie of sorts is Hereditary, believe it or not. So I would say it's Terrifier versus Hereditary.
Yeah,
off the rip here.
It's really tough for me.
That is tough.
I mean, you're in 2, even though they're B movies, you're in 2 different realms of horror. You got what everybody's now calling elevated horror against just brutal sleaze fest.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Oh, yes.
I say that with all admiration.
Full heart. Yeah.
But I think Terrifier. Art the Clown would kill that whole treehouse of old people.
And that's what I was going to say, too. I don't think anyone would stand a chance if you put Art the Clown in that town. I don't know what that town's called. I can't remember. But no one
Derry.
Yeah. There you go.
Fuck you, Art the Clown.
I'll give you Terrifier on that one for sure. So I'm actually gonna just put a little note here for myself because we're gonna make sure that we give our listeners a nice trifecta of movies to watch,
check out from the last half a decade.
So then let's pit 2 of we'll call them cultural or how not so much elevated but more like gore factor. So let's do a Train to Busan versus the Halloween remake. I feel like those both have wonderful elements in each, and they both have great gore factors, and they have great acting throughout.
Yeah, and this is before they ruined the reboot of Halloween.
Correct.
The 2018 remake or reimagining, whatever
you want to call it, yeah,
was pretty good. Actually.
I liked it, yeah.
But I mean, Train to Busan, I think. Again, 16. I think as much as Hereditary changed horror in 18, I think Train to Busan is more original and just like it was wall breaking in a lot of aspects, getting Korean just movie, like a Korean movie to break into the U.S. market and make waves.
Yeah.
And Halloween was just, hey, throw this mask on again.
That's a very simplistic way to say they reinvigorated a classic franchise.
Throw this mask on again. Hey, cool. Stop eating all that yogurt.
Activia made your brain go to mush, bitch. But if we're gonna get real underhanded about it, I mean, I could put zombies in anything and really make it a movie. I mean, it's zombies on a train, go into a city.
They were the quick runners, though.
They were, and they're my favorites.
It is the best. You're right. I mean, zombie movies have been done before, but it's like one of the best and freshest takes on zombies in a long time.
What I really like about it too is it did give American audiences the ability to absorb movies from across the the world,
right?
Because it was palatable. It was because usually Korean and Asian horror films don't have that level of gore. It's usually more nuanced and they make
creepy.
Yeah, they make you think more. This one was just like, we're fucking just dial it up. Tokyo Gore Police level, just crank it up. I actually have to give it to you again. Train to Busan. I've watched it more times than I've watched Halloween.
Just picked a better year than you, man.
Yeah, you definitely did. And I feel like I just gave you a gift by letting you go first here.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm not even that hungover. I just played it again.
I know. It's really good.
I actually only drank water yesterday.
You son of a bitch.
I wish that was true at this point.
So the last one here, you shouldn't have any problems trying to make this work out. It's Don't Breathe versus A Quiet Place, both of which utilize
disabilities.
Disabilities, yes, in a very not even a nuanced way, as the forefront of survivalist horror, because that's what both of these are. Blockbuster survival horror movies, and they were both fantastic. I'll let you go first again because I think I already know your argument, and it's going to sound really good, and I'm going to agree with most of your points. But go ahead.
So, Don't Breathe was just it was. So at the beginning, I just got to go from the beginning, I guess. At the beginning, you have people, the heels of the movie.
Yes.
You think breaking into the house, you're rooting for the blind guy, but then twist ending, he's a big piece of shit.
He's a huge piece of shit.
And then you got to root for the freaking Beez Kneez to survive. It's really weird. It really plays on your emotions oddly, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. The ending.
Yeah,
I was on board with this movie the whole way, and then the ending started coming around, and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Like it was already like, so it's 2016. If you haven't watched it yet, sorry. There's spoiler alerts incoming. Okay. Don't breathe. So the main protagonist becomes an antagonist, anti-hero, I guess. I don't know how. It's
villain, just straight up villain.
Yeah. He tries to impregnate one of the initial criminals with a turkey baster. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to touch you. I just need to spread my seed. Very creepy. And he has her strung up in like a sex swing, and he's trying to get her with a turkey baster. Very odd. She breaks away, thank goodness. But and there is a second. There's a Don't Breathe 2.
Oh, they screwed that up. They tried to make him the hero. It's like, no, remember the turkey baster?
Yeah, remember the whole
I'm not rooting for him.
Yeah, the whole artificial insemination. Also, too, bro, if you watch that thing, he didn't put any lube on the thing. He was going to go in with that turkey baster dry. Not cool. First rule of Freaky Deaky Sex Club:
be a gentleman.
Bring lube. So my argument here for A Quiet Place is.
It had Jim from The Office.
It had Jim from The Office, which I don't like The Office, so that's not my argument. I'm going to say because they allowed, they became the staple for all these other movies that start making plays off of silence. So like Netflix hurried up and jumped on. Not only did they do it with their movie called The Silence, they also tried to do the thing with Bird Box. Like, let's make a thing that we can't look at. We can't see. So I think that A Quiet Place really set a tone for other movies that were coming out, and I believe that their correct use of silence and disability and how they can effectively defeat the creatures, great slow burn, but full of gore, and it set up part 2 so well, and part 2 was a banger. But I can't use that as an argument here for the first one. But the thing I like most about A Quiet Place is no one's safe. Anybody can die, anybody can survive, and it's all about that Walking Dead, like, would you kill another person to survive?
Right.
So it has a lot of different elements to it. It's a little more diverse than Don't Breathe.
Yeah, and they went into an uncomfortable realm, too.
Yeah.
Not as uncomfortable as a dry turkey baster, but
that's fucking uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable, I would guess. I don't know firsthand. But to go on something that probably hasn't been done in a while, which is killed off a kid.
Yeah, early.
Yeah.
Early. Yeah.
I can give you I mean, I took the first two, so you're not going to win. I'll give you A Quiet Place.
Thank you.
I think it was, like you said, a little more diverse and kind of like took on more challenges than Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe was just kind of like we got you, and now we're going to twist the end. It was like a really good M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, it was. Effective use of a twist though too, because they really could have botched it up and made the story as linear as it was throughout, and then you've been like, okay, well, cool, it's like a blind John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, because
I saw Daredevil. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't need it again. And this guy have sonar, like he just hears stuff really well. So Adam, we have 3 movies here. I'm going to put it to you real quick. If you look at these movies, would you pick a 4th one to throw in here just to round it out nicely? Just like pick any, since you took these 2, pick a 4th one real quick.
Does it have to be in 2016?
It could be any one of these.
Just pick one?
Just pick one. Pick one.
I'm going to go with, not it. I'll go with Victor Crowley.
Wonderful. Victor Crowley is another vehicle from the Hatchet series, and this was the most recent edition of it. Great use of gore, and then Kane Hodder was actually in this one as well, so that was cool. What a great movie to round it out too, because you bookended it. Gore fest, smart gore fest.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your halfway to spooky season festival going, just check out these movies in this order because you don't want to watch them in any other way. Terrifier, Train to Busan, A Quiet Place, and Victor Crowley. I do know right now Terrifier, Train to Busan, and Victor Crowley are all on Prime Video, and right now A Quiet Place is available on Paramount Plus, and so is Quiet Place 2 if you want to just tack on another one and do a back-to-back. Yeah, they're all available for you right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Adam, we're moving on to one of your favorite segments we have here. It's questions from the internet. So these are some questions we get from our listeners and some questions that I find on Twitter for us to kind of pick through.
Thank goodness you didn't do Ask Adam anything.
Yeah, no, that's coming.
Ready for that today.
I can't wait till you go somewhere and I got to do that shit. When you come back, I'm going to fuck you up.
Where I'm going only has a one-way ticket, and it's hell.
By God, it's Kane. So, Adam.
We're going to Kane, PA?
Yeah, Log Yard. We're going to Log Yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met a guy from Kane, by the way, and that's the only thing he talked about was Log Yard.
That's
pretty much all there is.
And it's good. It's a good thing to talk about. So
it's not bad, yeah. So, Adam, when you're listening to music now in 2022, do you listen to full albums in order or on shuffle?
I've never been a big fan of listening to albums on shuffle. Like, I like to listen to them as they're intended. Now, I'll just throw on like a playlist of random artists and songs on shuffle all the time. But if I'm listening to an album to listen to that album, I'm listening in order.
See, I'm weird where the first time I'm going through it, it's going to be in order because I want to hear why they picked songs in particular order.
Exactly.
But after a while, like every time I die, they're the Radical. I listen to that thing straight, probably a good couple dozen times, and then I just like would hit shuffle just to put it on because now like the nuance of like going track to track didn't really need to happen. So yeah, I mean, in order first, then it bleeds into shuffling. Number 2 is really ambiguous. What advice do you have for us today? Today.
Don't drink 12 beers and stay up till 4 a.m. and then try to wake up at 8 a.m. the next day. That's stupid. But if you're going to do that, my real advice is drink Black Forge coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always come out on the other side smelling like roses.
I'm feeling shipshape.
Yeah. I honestly, between the break, I was worried about you in the first half, and then you drank that coffee, had a minute to yourself, took a micro nap, I think. And when we came in the second half, you looked great.
Micro nap, macro fart, and I'm good to go.
So my advice for today is just because some things have been going on, like surround yourself with great people. Surround yourself with people that believe in you.
What are you doing here?
You believe in me so much, you silly bitch. You know you do. Surround yourself with people that appreciate you and value you, because there's always going to be a bunch of people around that don't give a shit about what you're doing or try to like take things from you or discredit you. So I'm learning that lesson the hard way. These past 2 weeks, there's been some dissension, and I'm trying to figure out who's on my side and who's not. So I surround myself with people that support me, and shout Adam and then the Brain Trust. Shout out to you guys on Twitter. You guys support me as well, so thank you guys for that. Last but not least here, Adam, to go back to some more spooky season, who's your favorite female horror movie protagonist?
I can't just pick one.
You have to pick one.
Just one?
Well, it depends.
I have. So it's female.
Yeah.
So I have a female, and then I have like kind of a female.
Is she special?
She's special.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just go with my right from the onset. It's Carolyn Williams,
Okay.
who is Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
definitely like my favorite.
Cool.
But what's yours? And then I'll tell you what my
Oh,
sidebar one is.
the first female horror movie protagonist I ever fell in love with was Ripley, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
Yeah,
very good one.
She made being a badass woman cool.
Yes.
Cool as hell in Alien and Aliens. Her role in Aliens was awesome. She took no shit in Aliens. She was trying to figure it out. Aliens, badass. I say this lovingly, badass bitch. Got in that mech suit and get your hands off her. So good. So who's this surprise candidate you have for yourself?
It's Angela from Sleepaway Camp because like female
question mark?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you identify as.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
She was way ahead of the curve.
She really was.
She had a dick.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sleepaway Camp is such a good movie because like you know what it is all the way through, but then they're like, "Oh, you thought you knew,"
right?
And then they're like, "Surprise, bitch!" They just turn it on its head.
You thought you knew, Dick.
A little penis. So, Adam, we've already touched on some of the festivals we're at, but I gotta know because everyone else has to know too because you ran this place almost dry last night. What's on tap and where can you find us?
Our what's on tap is right now. It's the new Clouds Over California with Simcoe Mosaic and Idaho 7 hops. Trying to get through that, and then starting today, as you're listening to this in the Jojitorium, and at Dark Roots Barbershop come Tuesday, the Dark Roots Stout will be back out and about. So get yourself some of that. Make an appointment with Dark Roots. I think they're also taking walk-ins on some.
Yeah,
they have 2 or 3 chairs active right now. So
that's awesome.
Stop by, go up to Allentown here in Pittsburgh, and say hey to Ricky for us. Yeah, grab a beer.
Thanks, Ricky. Yeah. Thanks for the support, buddy. So if you want what's going on down here in the Brew Lab with Adam, you just search him out at @bash_brew on all social media. It's Facebook and Instagram. He's also on Untapped. If you want to know what's going on with the boys down here, we're at DWTB on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have our emails wide open for you, decayandwtb@gmail.com. We're on Redbubble. You can buy our stuff. Our dad hats are always $19.52. Our listener polls drop on Tuesdays with new videos dropping on Mondays and this audio dropping on Sundays. I've put my partner to sleep because I do this so well. It's so silky smooth.
I'm just real hungover.
If you could, go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss a single episode when we drop it. That doesn't do anything for you, but does everything for us. And we kind of have a goal right now. We want to try to get 100 subscribers by the end of 2022, and you guys can make it happen. So thank you for your continued support for the people who listen to us and all the people who are going to listen to us in the future. So from where you are listening to us on this beautiful Sunday morning, afternoon, or wherever it may be, until next time, cheers.
Cheers. I feel so much good.
That's the end.